Facebook friends, it's Wednesday. We're live under contract. It's 3 o'clock Wednesday. We come to you every week to help connect the dots in real estate. We had a couple little technical issues that I'm still trying to recover from as we're opening up. But how's your week? Hopefully it's going really well. I actually showed up to the studio today in a U-Haul because I'm in the middle of a move. So it's been a rush today. But hey, we got to go on, right? So here's the deal. Got a great, exciting show for you. Today we're going to have on Juan Pablo. He's the owner and founder of 100%financed.com. I'll make sure that we get that link up on the screen or the replay for you so that you can get to Juan. I'm sure Juan's going to share his information, contact info here at the end. We also have a special guest coming on near the end of the show. She'll be calling in Leah Turner. And she is a new home sales coach and trainer. We'll be talking to her about an upcoming event here in the Tampa Bay area very soon. So a couple of things. First of all, obviously, if you're watching the show, please like and share the show. And this week we're going to do something special because, Florida has this big lotto and sometimes it builds up to some stupid amounts. Right now, guys, I think it's at $165 million or something crazy like that. So anyone that does ask a question or does a comment here on Facebook during the show or in the first 24 hours of the replay will get an opportunity to get one of those tickets. In fact, anyone that engages, I'm going to send that to. So I'll be following up with you for your emails and whatnot. And sorry, I'm distracted. I'm just checking my phone to make sure we have a couple of new connections here that are on board. Hey, so some upcoming things. Under Contract is going to be moving to a brand new studio here in the coming weeks. We're just a few weeks away from that, so we'll have a whole new look and backdrop. It's great. I'm so thankful for all of you in the real estate world that are tuning in each week and making the show more and more successful. So I appreciate that. We're also going to be very excited about this opportunity. We're going to be broadcasting live from an upcoming realtor conference. It's the Florida Realtors Conference and Trade Show. Thousands and thousands of realtors, vendors, all kinds of stuff, just really cool stuff going on there in Orlando in August. That's going to be from the 16th to the 20th. So if you're in the Florida area or even if you're out of the area, it'd be worth the trip to come and check that out. It's a 3 or 4 day event. We'll be live there, so come up, make sure that you come and visit us, and we'll be talking about that as we get closer as well. So, a few weeks back, we had Juan Pablo, our next guest, on, and, Juan has basically built a portfolio of, I think, between 60 and 70 multifamily units. The idea here is that he buys multifamily units to rent out, to hold, not to flip, not to sell, but to rent, and get those rent checks coming in, and now he is showing others how to do that. He's been doing that very successfully for a while now, has a huge following, and he can really share with you and teach you from scratch because he did it himself. He started with no previous knowledge of this. Go back and listen to a previous episode where Juan was on and you'll hear his story. But today, what we're really going to be talking about is not just how to find multifamily units and find the deal, but more importantly, how to pay for them. How are you going to pay for those multifamily units if, for some reason, you can't go get a traditional loan from the bank? We're going to be talking about how to get that money regardless of your credit, without any money. Look, there are investors out there that will be more than happy to give you money if it's the right deal, if you can find the right deal. So we're going to be talking to Juan about how to find those hard money lenders and what they really need to see in order to help you move forward to make that purchase. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, make sure that we have Juan on, and we'll be back in just a moment here on Under Contract. Thank you.
I have been using Serial Sales Pro for a little more than 2 years now.
I highly recommend it to anybody who's either just getting in sales. I don't care if you've been in sales 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are.
The shorter videos allows me to keep my concentration and also gives me more of a chance to actually apply that knowledge.
I've learned how to close deals better and be more effective in my communication with these customers.
I think what Serial Sales Pro does for me, it just keeps me sharp, keeps my edge sharp.
My income has literally tripled in the last 3 years
This year, I'm already slated to make about 50 grand more than I made last year.
I've doubled my income from what I made last year.
It's definitely increased my income, and a lot of that came from what I learned right from Serial Sales Pro.
It's really turned my whole sales career around.
It keeps me ready to get to the next level.
So if you're not plugged in to it, get involved right away.
Let's face it, in today's market, video is the new curb appeal. Even if somebody drives by your listing, the first thing they're going to do is pull their phone out and take a look at that property online. Whether you're selling a $200,000 home in Central Florida, or a multi-million-dollar estate in Palm Beach, Florida, or San Francisco, California, or maybe you need some aerial footage for a site acquisition, email me today and let's get started. Robbie at rmtmedia.net.
We do have Juan Pablo on the line, and he'll be up just a minute on screen, and we'll be talking with Juan about how to find hard money lenders. Before we get started, because we just have a moment before Juan will be up on the screen here, I wanted to take a moment to thank our guest last week. It was an amazing show. Make sure if you didn't catch it, go back and watch it. But we spoke with Nathaniel Bittman, and he is with Security National Mortgage. I want to give him a shout out, and also Tasha McGinn, who is a very amazing, successful broker out of Biloxi, Mississippi, growing her business with Exit Realty. Make sure you go back and check it out. Last week we talked about how to interact with all the parties that are involved in that real estate transaction a little bit smoother, right? Sometimes we get frustrated with other parties that maybe work at different offices and things like that, and we talked about how to smooth those communications out and how to learn their perspective of what's happening during the real estate transaction. So make sure you go back and check that out. So let me check with my producers. You guys ready? Are we good with Juan? Okay, he's on the phone, so we have another moment. This is called filling time. We are live, right? We are live. So let me talk about, okay, all set? You guys are all set? Okay. Oh, Juan, you can hear me, Juan. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I've been listening. Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were, you could hear me there. Thank you, Juan. We'll have you up on screen here in a moment, but let's jump right in. First of all, I just reminded the audience you were on a few weeks back. We've interviewed before, and we've heard part of your story. And today what I really want to focus on is the hard money lending part. I mean, essentially, again, to remind our audience and kind of bring everybody up to speed, Juan has built a portfolio of multifamily rental units that he collects income from every month because he now owns those properties. And Juan is going to kind of walk us through a little bit of what that looks like, how to reach out and to hard money lenders, and also Juan is teaching this on a regular basis, and you can learn more information at 100percentfinance.com. We'll make sure that we have that up on the screen, or after the show, put it in the Facebook feed. So Juan, without any further ado, let's talk a moment about how to get these deals financed. Let's say that I go out and I find a multifamily unit that I'm interested in. How do I begin to find a hard money lender? Where do we go to find this money?
Hey, thanks a lot, David, for inviting me again as a member of your show. I greatly appreciate that. But finding the money is the most important thing, because when people are getting started with real estate investing, they think, oh, maybe I should drive for dollars. Maybe I should reach out to a real estate agent. They focus on finding the deal. Maybe I should send out a direct mail campaign, yellow letters, and so forth. But I always recommend find the money and then find a deal, like what they say on Jerry Maguire, right? Show me the money.
Right.
Because that's what deal finders want to look at. Deal finders, I use that as a catch-all phrase to include real estate agents as well as wholesalers, people who are finding deals for you. They want to see that you're credible, meaning you got the money. So I suggest you, first and foremost, you get a proof of funds letter or pre-qualification letter. Those two words can be used interchangeably. You receive that from a hard money lender. So in finding them, there's multiple ways of finding them. The way I found my hard money lenders is the good old cold calling way. I would go on my favorite search engine. I would use Google, and I would search pretty much a series of words with name variations, and I'll explain. So if I'm using hard money in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which I've done, as well as in Atlanta, Georgia, different markets, I will search hard money lending, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hard money lenders in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh hard money loans. All those different name variations, and then I'll look at all the companies that came up on my feed, and I'll look at their qualifications to make sure I qualify for one, and two, look at their terms and find the one that has the best terms in which I qualify for. And I did the same for Atlanta, but we also provide hard money lending as well through 100% finance. But if you want to use your own resources, that's one good way. So you can do online research. The second way is very easy way. You can go to networking events, your local real estate investment group. These are called RIAs, R-E-I-A, Real Estate Investing Alliance or Association, whatever A you want to use. But they have a ton of hard money lenders because they understand that investors, real estate investors, they go to these meetings to network and to learn information. So why not set up a table outside the networking event to pitch my service? So you can find a lot of hard money lenders just by networking at your local real estate investing event. If you want to find those, you can go on meetup.com or you can use your search engine again and just search your city name. So we're still using Pittsburgh, for example. You can do Pittsburgh RIAs, Pittsburgh Real Estate Investing Groups.
Yeah, Juan, I think you bring up something really powerful there because, you know, we're on Facebook Live right now, and that is that's one place that I have found that really is easy to find those type of networking groups. I mean, if you just go in your search engine on Facebook and look at groups and type in the and remind me of the abbreviation again. Is it RIEA?
REIA. So it stands for Real Estate Investment Association, or some people say Alliance, but it's normally a RIA, REIA.
Okay, great.
It's a bunch of, it's normally, they have a chapter or two. Like in the city of Atlanta where I reside, we have about 4 of them. We have the Atlanta RIA, we have the Georgia RIA, there's, and it's like 3 other small real estate investment groups out there.
It's a good thing you don't. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing you don't live in the city Daya. I would hate to have to find that group in the Daya city.
Right.
Okay, all right. That just went over most people. But
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. That was so unprofessional. So here's the thing. Let's talk about this for a moment because I think that for the average person who's considering investing, or hey, this would be a great idea, or I really want to try this. I don't have the money, I don't have the credit necessarily, but I'm confident that I could go out and put the legwork in. Okay, let's talk about, because I think for most people this sounds too good to be true. Wait a second, I'm going to just go find a deal and someone's going to give me the money, me, the one that has no money and doesn't really have the credit. Let's talk about why a hard money lender would do that, why it makes sense for them to do that, and then I have a follow-up question once you kind of share that.
Oh, yeah, that's a catch-22. Most people say, hey, well, I need the money to find the deal, and other people say, hey, well, I need a deal first in order to get the money. Partners don't want to invest with you if you don't have any deals, meaning you have the experience. And it's like, well, it's hard to get the experience if I don't have any partners to give me the money. So the great thing about hard money is that they will lend you pretty much 100% of the financing as long as you buy it right. So with hard money, it's called hard money for a reason, because it's hard to borrow at their terms, meaning the interest rate is going to be hard, it's going to be high. It's not going to be a soft and cushiony 4 or 5% interest rate. That's what the conventional mortgage is. It's going to be more so in a range of 12% or higher for hard money. And points. A point is 1% of the amount of money you borrow. So when you're doing hard money, it could be anywhere from 2 points to 5 to 7 points. I've seen as high as that. So that's a lot. So if you're borrowing $100,000 from a hard money lender, they may charge you 15% interest on top of that. Plus, if it's 7 points, that's an additional $7,000 that you have to repay, in addition to the $100,000 that you initially borrowed. But I still prefer to use hard money because hard money lenders will lend you money to buy as well as rehab a distressed asset. You cannot go to a major bank or a conventional mortgage like Bank of America, for example, and say, hey, lend me the money to buy this house and fix it up even though it's not habitable. They won't do it. If the copper is stolen or if it doesn't have kitchen cabinets or there's mold, there's a leaky roof, they will not lend out money on a property that's inhabitable, but a hard money lender will. And again, they'll lend you money to not only buy the property, but also give you the money to fix it up.
Come on,
oftentimes at 100% financing.
Yeah,
so that's why I use hard money for distressed properties, for those foreclosures.
Yeah, and you know, as you mentioned, Juan, for our viewers, I mean, that again, that's why they call it hard money, because the terms are a little bit hard. I mean, you know, you're going to pay a high interest rate, you're going to pay points more than likely. So the math has to make sense, and this is the part where, you know, the legwork of really doing your homework, and not only that, but being patient maybe before you approach someone or try to jump into a deal. I would think that takes a little bit of discipline. But let's go back to what you mentioned earlier about the, you know, showing up with the pre-qual letter, you know, already finding the hard money lender and then having proof that they're going to provide funds. I would have thought, and you correct me if I'm wrong, now obviously if you're more qualified and they're basing some of that on that, then that's one thing. But what about the person, again, who doesn't have the money or the credit? How do they get a pre-qual without showing up with the deal first? Or in that case, should they or do they need to show up with the deal first?
Okay, that's a great question. And just keep in mind, everyone, that every hard money lender is different, because they're local lenders oftentimes. They're private lenders. They're not a conventional bank, as I mentioned earlier. So what does that imply? That implies they don't have to adhere to Fannie or Freddie, right, the secondary mortgage market. So that means that they can write their own terms, whatever they want. It's up to them. And they're different in different markets. I did hard money in the Pittsburgh market. I had a 15% interest rate with 2 points. No down payment required. But in the Atlanta market, 13% interest rate, 3 points, 20% down payment required. So it differs, right? And they all have different qualifications for qualifying you. So to answer your question, David, I could speak upon our hard money that we provide to our audience. We have 4 tiers, okay? One tier is if you have a 700 FICO score or higher, we can extend to you hard money and give you a pre-qualification letter if you have decent credit and you only have to put a 10% down payment. The second tier is if you have somewhere between 620 to 700, then you can bring a 15% down payment to the table. But if you want to if you want a proof of fund, a pre-qualification letter with no credit check whatsoever, then it's a 20% down payment automatic. And of course, being that you're not coming to the table with your credit report, therefore the terms can be a bit higher for that individual. So I always tell people it depends on what you bring to the table. You have to understand the perspective of the lender. If you say, hey, I want to be able to get a $100,000 loan from you guys with no income verification, no credit check whatsoever, we'll still do it. But we want to make sure there's enough value in the property. So there's one thing I just want to mention, Dave, about the formula that's required for hard money. Hard money lenders, generally speaking, will give you the money you need to buy and fix it up as long as you adhere to the following formula. The repairs plus the purchase price, meaning the cost to buy it, to purchase it, and the cost to fix it up, must be equal to 65% of the ARV. That's the after repair value. So again, every market is different. Some may say 70, some may 75, but as an investor, because I'm an active investor, I have 63 rental units. I use hard money. I use other forms of creative financing. But I always make sure I, myself, from an investor standpoint, adhere to that formula. So just to give you guys a scenario to make sure you understand it, just give you some math. If you know a house on a particular block, once it's fixed up and pretty, will be worth $100,000, once it's fixed up and pretty, your goal is to make sure that the purchase price plus the repairs do not exceed $65,000. So that's what I mean when I say 65% of the ARV, which is the $100,000, the after repair value, the appraised value after it's fixed up and pretty. So in a scenario like that, if you can get the purchase price for $30,000 and the repairs don't exceed $30,000, and if you can also squeeze in $5,000 for closing costs, then you just factor $65,000 ARV, and oftentimes in certain markets you'll get 100% financing. So in Pittsburgh market, I had a hard money lender. that I've used, and he had no issues with that. In fact, I got money back at closing. I didn't put no down payment up whatsoever, and I walked out the closing office with an $1,100 check because I bought it below 65%.
Right.
And I took cash back.
Yeah,
but in the Atlanta market, they still require a down payment regardless.
Okay, yeah. So another thing I wanted to point out, because you talked about this earlier, that one of the reasons that we're going to hard money lenders is because, you know, a traditional mortgage company or bank or lender isn't going to finance that distressed property that, you know, is that you're going to have to totally reconstruct in some areas. So I would think that another benefit is once you've done this loan with the hard money lender and you've been able to rehab a property, now all of a sudden that property now does qualify for traditional lending if you are in it correctly, and you know you can get a loan with, assuming your credit score or whatnot is in line, and you're able to get a traditional mortgage. So that would be another benefit, I would think, that you could flip that original contract to go to a traditional mortgage. Would that be correct?
Yes, and I had two scenarios with that, Dave. One scenario is I've actually got a property, and it didn't need extensive repairs. It was habitable. So I could have got a mortgage from a conventional bank, pretty much. But the reason why I decided not to use them initially was to avoid the down payment, because I was able to buy with enough built-in equity. So the purchase price plus the repairs was less than 65% of the ARV. Like, for example, the ARV was around $60,000, but I got it under contract for $27,000. So it's almost half of the property, and only needed about $5,000 in cosmetic repairs. So to avoid paying a down payment, because every conventional mortgage requires a 20% down payment on an investment property, I skipped through that by using hard money. And then so I used hard money because I didn't have to put nothing down. That's what 100% financing is. I put zero down, got the property, fixed it up, small cosmetic repairs, and then I refinanced into a conventional mortgage.
Okay.
So that way you avoid the down payment, plus you're able to get a tenant in there and refinance and hold it as a rental.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Juan, for clarifying that. Now, I have one final question, and then believe it or not, we're already out of time, and I'll ask you to share with our listening audience how they can find you. The last question I have, or maybe comment, and you can talk about this, is, you know, maybe if you've gone out there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if I've gone out there and done some legwork, and I just have this unbelievable deal, I mean, it's like a no-brainer deal. Now I just need the lender, the hard money lender. I can shop hard money lenders, right? I mean, if my deal is that amazing, I'm sure that I can get a little bit of competition going in the hard money lending area. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Yep. As I stated earlier, the first thing you want to do is find a hard money lender in which you qualify for, and then be the one with the best terms.
Yep. Okay. So, Juan, share with our audience how they can reach you, because there's so much more that you do, and that you do through your coaching program, I know. Also, you do credit repair. You do amazing things to help someone who isn't in a position to invest to become a successful investor like you have. So share with our audience how they can reach out to you, please.
Oh, excellent. So we have a website. I'll give you the short URL for it. Is go to 100pf.com. That's GOTO 100pf.com. 100pf is short for 100% finance. So that's a company I created based upon me being an investor. I understood that there's a need to finance your deals 100% to the point you're still making money off of it without any of your money invested in it. So there's no limit to how many deals you can do. So we offer business funding. So this is my money team. It's a fixed stack, hiring a stack of credit card, playing cards. It's my credit cards. Business credit, by the way. It doesn't show up in my personal credit. So I use that to finance deals and other creative forms of financing, like lease options, subject to wraparound mortgages. We also offer credit repair, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
We cater to the real estate investor at heart.
Awesome, awesome. Juan, thanks again so much, man. It's such a pleasure to have you on. You know your stuff like nobody's business, and I want to encourage everyone to reach out to you. You can also follow Juan on YouTube. You see his Twitter handle there on Twitter as well. He's got tons and tons of followers, and I just want to thank you again for being on the show. We'll have you back another time to talk about another area of real estate investing.
Cool. And shout out to you with that fly shirt on, man.
Oh, thank you.
Looking snazzy over there, bro.
Thanks, Juan. I told you last time. I still want to, use your. You beat me to the punch when it came to branding because I love that lifestyle T-shirt, and you get to wear that shirt. all the time,
have it
so
on
that's
now.
Cool. That's super cool.
It's just the camera angle. Yep.
There we go.
That's what it's all about, baby. The lifestyle.
All right, Juan. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time on Under Contract. Okay, so hey, that was Juan Pablo. Make sure that you're reaching out to him. He really can cover just about anything when it comes to real estate investing, helping you find those multifamily units, holding on to them, renting them out, becoming an investor in real estate. So now we have a real special treat for you, because we have a caller on the line, and we're going to go to Leah Turner here. And Leah, can you hear me?
I can. How are you, David?
I'm doing great. And for our audience, just so you're aware, Leah is an in-demand speaker. She was actually was a featured speaker at the International Builder Show here in, I believe it was, I know it was in Orlando recently, but I'm not sure about the year before. But Leah is a coach and a trainer when it comes to new home sales. Probably does a lot more than that I'm not giving her credit for. But Leah, welcome to the show, and I appreciate you being on.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you're here today because there's a big event coming up tomorrow night here in Tampa. And why don't you share a little bit of the details, what you'll be speaking about, and how people can, reach out and find out more about this event tomorrow night?
Certainly. Tomorrow night, the Sales and Marketing Council of the Tampa Bay Builders Association are having an event. It's going to be held at the Rusty Pelican down there by the Causeway. The event goes from 6 until 8 p.m. I will be speaking from 7 to 8. My subject is how to earn the right to ask for the sale. So a very appropriate topic for new people in new home sales, general real estate, etc. A lot of sales and marketing professionals from the new home building industry as well as general real estate industry will be attending the event, and we're just going to kind of have a 1-hour workshop, roll up our sleeves, and kind of talk about what we need to do during the sales presentation when we're working with our prospects to help us earn the right to ask for the sale at the end of the presentation.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because I'll be at the event. I'm going to meet you in person, Leah, and I'm really excited about what you'll be sharing because if you're not aware already, I work for William Ryan Homes, and I'm in a new construction neighborhood, so I work out of the model, and I know that's kind of a specialty for you there.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about it. You mentioned that you're going to be mainly talking about how to earn the right to ask for the sale. Give us just real quickly some stats on how many agents are actually asking for the sale in the first place.
Okay, good question. Great question, actually. I do some work with Melinda Brody and Company, and if you're in new home sales, you're very familiar with that name. Melinda Brody and Company actually does the video shopping. So she has a team of people that will go in and record the salesperson given their presentation, and then it comes back to us and it is scored. So last year, and this is kind of shocking, but last year of the 1,200 sales associates that were video shopped by Melinda, only 46% asked to move forward with the purchase of a new home. And what's really interesting about that is in most cases when we send our video shoppers out, they are ready, willing, and able buyers. So if 46% are asking, that means, and correct me if I'm wrong because math isn't my top subject, but that means 53 or 54% are not asking. So that's a huge number. That's more than half of the people. And what I believe the reason that they don't ask to move forward with the sale, David, is because they do not feel as though they have earned the right to ask. You're in new home sales. Would you feel comfortable asking someone to purchase a $700,000 home if you don't feel like you, in your gut, have earned the right to move forward to ask that question?
No, you're spot on. I mean, it's not even natural to be able to do that. So, and one of the really interesting things that you just talked about was you talked about those 1,200 secret shops and the fact that it's only, I think you said 46% that actually asked for the sale. But you followed up by saying that, hey, wait a second, these aren't just 1,200 people that came through the door that, you know, maybe the neighborhood was just too far away for, or, you know, wasn't qualified or wasn't ready or didn't have any kind of intention. We're talking about specifically people who were sent in that were presenting themselves as willing, ready, and able to buy, and yet that number's still so low. So I can't wait for your training tomorrow night. I'm certain that I'll take things away from it that will help me in the new home model, and I would encourage everyone that's in the Tampa Bay area, even if you're not, I know it's short notice, it's tomorrow night, fly in. Somebody will pay for it. It won't be me, but but hey,
fly, drive,
right.
And mention, David. This is also very important to mention.
Okay. Yes.
The program is $35, but I just learned the other day there's an open bar, so that might make it a little more inviting to some of your folks.
I saw that too. I'm determined to make sure they take a loss. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's going to be a good time, and one of the things we're really going to focus on is how to set the sales presentation up the moment your prospects walk in the door. I see way too often, the salesperson asking to move forward with the sale when they're in the parking lot waving goodbye to the prospect. But there really is a formula, and if you learn how to set that up at the very beginning, through your qualifying, through your discovery, through trial closes, assumptive closes, learning how to overcome objections, personalizing and customizing the entire presentation. Those are some of the key things that we're going to hit on tomorrow. So the people that do attend will walk away with, for lack of a better word, a blueprint or a plan on how to start at the very beginning when your prospects walk in the door and be working towards asking for the sale and earning the right to ask for the sale throughout the entire presentation. So I'm really, really excited about it.
That sounds amazing. You had me at hello. You had me at hello, Leah. So here's the thing.
Awesome.
Why don't you just real quickly share, because, you know, for viewers that are out of the Tampa Bay area, because we have realtors and people in the industry watching from all over the country, actually, share, please, if you would, how they can reach out to you and find you to maybe get some of this in their neighborhood.
Certainly. What I would advise them to do is go to melindabrody.com, melindabrody.com, as I work as her sales coach and trainer, and there's information about our program, about shopping, coaching, and training. And then another thing is to definitely visit the tbba.com website or the sales and marketing website as well, and it will have additional information on the program and all the great programs that the SMC offers. And you know, I just want to do a plug here. I know that we're talking to general realtors as well as new home sales professionals, but the SMC, the Sales and Marketing Council, really has something to offer everyone in any type of real estate sales, whether it's general or new homes. So I would encourage everybody to come on out. It's a great networking opportunity, and we'll walk away with some good knowledge to help you guys increase your sales and improve your sales presentation.
Awesome. I appreciate you being on the show, Leah. I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, and I'll be taking that roadmap with me. So thank you so much for being on.
Me too. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. I look forward to meeting you face-to-face tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Bye-bye. So there you have it. That was the show. Hope you enjoyed it. And it flies by as usual. But we'll see you next week on Under Contract. #boom.